Are you a busy mom who feels like you're always running behind? Do you struggle to balance work, family, and personal goals? Are you constantly feeling like you're not doing enough even when you're putting in your best effort? If you're nodding your head in agreement, then you're not alone. Now, imagine your life when you finally get rid of the overwhelm and chaos. Picture yourself calm, confident, and in control of your schedule. With the Thrive and Shine Day Planner, you will make this vision a reality. This planner has monthly, weekly, and quarterly planning pages that allow for strategic planning of family, professional, and personal goals. There are weekly inspirational quotes to keep you motivated and encouraged, and chore lists as well as grocery lists all on one page for ease of planning and prioritization. This planner was designed as a convenient digital download that can be used digitally for seamless planning even when on the go, and as a physical hard copy for those of us who like to put pen to paper. The best part? This planner is on sale for $5 for the digital version. So if you're looking to crush your 2024 goals in the fourth quarter, don't spend another day feeling stuck. Grab a Thrive and Shine planner today at sayhello-to-mrs.com. We are live. Your girl, Coriel, checking in, back for another brand new episode of Well Kept Wednesday. Here where we go into a little bit of a deep dive on wellness principles, tips, tricks, tools, practices, conspiracy theories, and a new level of consciousness when it comes to our upkeep as women. We talk about this soft life, the soft season, but I really believe that we have to focus on not only getting caught up in the softness, because if we're being honest, every season does not allow us to be soft. Okay. Sometimes we got to get a little rough. So, in those seasons where you may not be afforded the luxury of softness, we still have a level and a standard of self care that we want to maintain as well kept women. Now, if you missed the episode where I completely broke down what a well kept woman is and talked all about the community of well kept women that we are building and creating and that you can be a part of for absolutely free, then roll back a couple of episodes and get into it. I took a little bit of a break. Okay. I didn't give y'all a warning about the break. So it's been a couple weeks since I have dropped a new Well Kept Wednesday, but there are 7 episodes that have been here to keep you busy. I took a little time off for my birthday. My husband surprised me with a birthday trip to Curacao. Y'all, I had to look this thing up on the map. Had no clue where I was, but it ended up being a totally cool new experience. Curacao is definitely a vibe. It is giving Negril, Tulum. Yeah, Negril and Tulum, because it very islandy, so Jamaica-ish, but then it had a Hispanic and Dutch and kind of an American vibe. So it was a very weird mashup of cultures. And it's actually a Dutch island. So I happen to love Amsterdam. It's one of my favorite cities. And so they had, their hints of Amsterdam culture. That was pretty cool as well. Definitely will be our, it was our first time, but it won't be our last time visiting there. Kendrick has literally already sent me flights that he's looked up at all of the things. So thank you to everyone who sent me some birthday love. Libra gang in the building. October 1st was my official birthday, but if you know any Libras, you know that we are celebrating all month long. And so thank you for everyone who showed love, and shout out to all of my fellow Libras. Now, one of the things that I've been kind of working on, not really behind the scenes, but kind of sort of, and one of the things that I'm also working on, which is why I'm doing this behind the scenes, is not relying on Instagram for all of the projects and the programs and all of the things that I am working on and rolling out through my nonprofit. So I have a nonprofit organization called For the Culture Foundation, where we advocate for the Black community by empowering the Black family. And right now, our programs are aimed at providing mental health and wellness resources for Black women, specifically moms, in one of the most sensitive seasons of their lives, which is postpartum. And so we are super excited to be hosting our first fundraiser next month. It's the Dinner and Dialogue Conversation event right here in Atlanta. Now, because we want to maintain the vibe and keep our space safe, this is a private invite only event, but there's a link down below, somewhere down there, that will allow you to apply for an invitation, which is basically you just sharing a little bit about yourself, what you want to get from the event, why you think you'd be a good fit, and what questions we can answer for you so that we can be as prepared for you as possible. This is a free dinner and dialogue experience. As I mentioned, it's a fundraiser for the nonprofit. So although there is no fee to attend, we will be passing that collection plate. Okay. We do have some raffles that we're going to be giving away, some bomb prizes at the event. So if you are a Black woman who has realized that life is going life, but that thing is going to keep moving, whether we feel ready or not. If you are a Black woman who has sometimes felt left out in the conversations or in the spaces, you felt like your voice was not valuable, you felt like you are not in a space to be given advice, you feel like you're not comfortable to go into a space and ask for advice, this is the safe space for you. And I am being honest when I tell you that when I am curating these conversations, it's really conversations that I need. You know, this is the community that I needed when I first became a mom, and that I still need now that, you know, I'm going to be a mom for the rest of my life. And so, whether you are a mom or not, rich auntie vibes or not, if you're a Black woman who is a mama or you got a mama, this is going to be a conversation that's going to be valuable, impactful, and hopefully healing for you. So, for more information, check out the details below. And if you want to learn more about our nonprofit organization because you are feeling generous and you want to make a donation, or you would like to serve with your time, we have volunteer opportunities available as well. You can log on to thecurefortheculture.com and follow us on Instagram at thecurefortheculture. If you have been wondering beyond the podcast, what am I doing? This is what I have been pouring all of my time and energy and attention into. But your girl is definitely still popping on the podcast, okay? Which brings me around to something special that I decided to do for Libra season. I wanted to create space specifically for small businesses. Most of the time, the ads that you hear on my podcast are large brands. You know, I get a lot of deals with, I mean, I'm not going to name drop because they're not paying me for this. But if you listen to the podcast and you hear some of the commercials that are played and some of the products that I promote and endorse, and I wanted to create some space to be able to do that for my small and especially Black woman-owned businesses who need our support, especially during this holiday season. We know we are about to be dropping those coins. Why not practice group economics while we're doing it? So while we are going out and buying these gifts that we know we're going to buy anyway, let's just put a little bit of effort into making sure that we are supporting Black-owned and especially Black woman-owned businesses this holiday season. So I have some amazing Black women who are featured as partners, sponsors for the podcast, Girl Stop Playing podcast. And so I wanted to share some information about them with y'all here because I know that y'all love supporting Black women and Black woman-owned businesses, or else you probably would not have found me. So I got to shout out my girl, Fallon. She is a previous guest on the Girl Stop Playing podcast. Me and her connected like this on postpartum. Actually, oddly enough, both of us had a very similar postpartum nightmare birth situation where we both ended up having preeclampsia, high blood pressure, got sent back to the hospital, stayed in the hospital for a week. Like, we both literally had very much so, oh my God, you too type of stories and situations, which was very healing. Even that conversation was healing because if you've never known anybody who has dealt with the struggles that you are struggling or have struggled with, you can feel alone. you can feel to blame. You can feel ashamed. Like you can feel so much to yourself by yourself if you've never spoken about the things that you've experienced or you've never been heard, right? About the things you've experienced. So that was a very healing conversation. If you're a mom who still has a little tinge of shame around your birth story, because nobody talks about that, but so many of us have that feeling from what we wanted our birth to look like versus the reality of it, and all of the feels and things that we most of the time didn't have time to process. Go back and tap into that conversation. But my girl Fallon also created the Thrive and Shine Planner. Now, there's a digital version as well as a print version available. If you want the digital version, you can get instant access for $5. Okay, but she's put everything inside of this planner to help you crush your 2024 goals in the fourth quarter. Everything from your grocery list to the places to ease your planning and your prioritization. So, if you are interested in strategic planning for your family, your professional, as well as your personal goals, then I need for you to check the notes below, but also log on to sayhello to mrso.com. Say hello to mrso.com. Tell my girl Fallon I sent you. Now, another business that I want to shout out before we get into our Well Kept Wednesday episode, and then I'll shout out my next two either midway through or maybe towards the end. But my girl Kawanda Lamb, okay? Kawanda has created Spanish for Black girls, okay, which is a premium course and community crafted specifically for professional Black women just like you. Her signature Savvy language framework allows you to master conversational Spanish in just 90 days. So, baby, you can sign up for this Spanish for Black women's course and literally be speaking Spanish by the new year. Baby, you can spend Valentine's Day in Tulum having conversational Spanish in Cabo. Okay. So check out my girl Kawanda. You can log on to SpanishForBlackGirls.com to start your journey to fluency in just 90 days. Again, some bomb Black woman owned businesses that you and I should both be supporting. Now, y'all know that the whole point of this Well Kept Wednesday conversation initially started with Conspiracy Co ruffling feathers on Instagram. So I like to be able to use my platform, like on my podcast to share stories from other people who otherwise feel voiceless or like their story isn't meaningful or has value, right? I love being able to do that. But the other thing I love just as much is being able to share this random information, this little known, very well hidden information specifically around health and wellness with Black women because it is very deliberate the way the system, when I say they, I'm referencing the system. And when I say the system, I'm talking about all the systems. I'm talking about the medical system, the education system, the criminal justice system, healthcare. I'm talking about all the systems, the government, everything, all of the systems. They are very intentional, pharmaceutical systems, very intentional with the way that they disguise information, the way that they hide information, the way that they're so sneaky with what they hide in plain sight. They're so sneaky with the marketing campaigns that they put millions and billions and trillions of dollars into to convince us that, like, milk does a body good. Wink, wink, wink. Or that, like, the food pyramid that told us that we need to eat 8 to 10 servings of like starches. Y'all, most of what we have been taught, okay, has the truth has revealed that it was a lie. Okay, so when I come across information, especially about pretty popular topics, I like to be able to share. But the people were kind of getting sick of me sharing so much on Instagram. It was like overload. And when like the third person mentioned fear mongering, like I was just spreading this misinformation to scare people. it pissed me off a little bit. So that brought me here to YouTube with Well Kept Wednesday. This is my opportunity because I'm not holding y'all hostage. It's like if you stumble across this video, spirit led you here, the universe brought you here, God wanted me to give you this information. Somehow you got here. And if you stay here, it's because you want to be here, right? And so here I like to be able to share this wellness information for women. It can be for anyone, I guess, but specifically for Black women who want to live well, because so much of the conversation on the internet is focused on doing well, right? Like having a lot of money, building wealth, performance, right? I want to talk about being well. So, how we can truly live and operate with intentional focus on our well being. So, not racing to climb the corporate ladder, not racing to hit the $1 million goal in your business, but then your mental health is a mess. Not racing so hard to put these plaques up on the wall for our professional achievements, but then our personal lives are empty and toxic and unfulfilled. That ain't it. I feel like there was a good bit of time that as a society, that's what we focused on. We focused on making the money. We focused on getting the bag. We focused on running the play, and we got played in the process. Our mental health took a hit in the process. And so I have personally refocused my time and attention to make sure that my mental health and my true wellness, like how I feel, my emotional well being, are my priority and not just how I look. I don't want to appear to be, like a public success, but then personally at home, I'm crying myself to sleep at night. I have been there and done that. And that is not a sustainable lifestyle. And so at some point, what they say on Instagram, at the end of the day got to end. At the end of the day, something has to change, baby. We can either sit around and complain about the situation, or we can get smart and create a solution for the situation. And my get smart, create a solution was control what you can control. Focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. I am the main thing. I am the star player. I am the main character, right? In this movie. I'm the star. So I got to make sure that mentally, physically, emotionally, energetically, I can show up versus only being focused on how I financially appear, right? So when my focus changed, my conversation started changing, my community started changing, my connections started changing, the people who I was willing to collaborate with started changing. All of the things started changing personally, and that obviously affects what I do and what I produce professionally, which brings us here to Well Kept Wednesday. So one of the posts that I put up on Instagram, which if y'all are not following me on Instagram at Coriel, definitely make sure that you do. But one of the posts that I put up that is still getting tons and tons, and I'll put a screenshot somewhere, but it's still getting tons and tons of action. It's this post. It has literally almost 9,000 shares, but there's a doctor. His name is Dr. Thomas Lodi, Lodi. And he's talking about the fact that when you perform a biopsy, and this isn't 100% of the time, I have to give this disclaimer because apparently people think when I post things like this, it's like 100% of the time, this is the rule, this is law, and that is never the case. It's never 100%. But in a lot of cases, according to this doctor, Dr. Lodi, when you biopsy a tumor, meaning poke it to cut a piece off, a lot of the time, what happens is whatever was inside, the toxins, the poison, the cancer, spreads. So a lot of the time, you are in a worse situation after the biopsy than you were in before. That's his theory, and that's what I shared on my page. And y'all, the people have gone crazy. But beyond just the people going crazy, I wanted to share with you his page because I want y'all to go into a rabbit hole on this if you are interested, especially because it is October. What is October? National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, National Breast Cancer Dollars Month. This is the month where we as a society are collectively scammed into believing that our 50 cent, $5, $500, $5,000 Susan G. Komen donation is actually going towards a cure. Blink, blink, blink. Yeah, we've been donating for decades. We've been donating for decades. And not just you and I, but on a corporate, global level, billions of dollars towards research when there is no cure. And yet the numbers, the fact that you and I, just you and I, whoever you might be, can sit down and randomly name, I'm willing to guess, like a handful of people that you and I both know that have been affected by this one disease that we've raised billions of dollars for a cure for. I'm willing to bet that the math ain't mathin'. Like the number of dollars raised versus the number of cures created, it's not in alignment, versus the number of years that we've been at this. Something is not mathing, right? Something is not adding up. So Dr. Thomas Lodi, 39 plus years as a physician, philosopher, and teacher. He has an Oasis of Healing, which is a community in Arizona, Mesa, Arizona, where they focus on integrative oncology, IV cancer treatments, no harm cancer therapies. Now, why am I sharing this? I don't know. You might not know. You might not need this information. Someone that you're connected to might need it. They might not need it today, but they might need it one day. So, what I am being led to share with you is to just go check him out. So, his page is Dr. Thomas Lodi, and I'll put this down below. Lodi is his last name. And then his business page is An Oasis of Healing. Check it out. Read through some of the posts. Whatever you are feeling led to, drawn to, share it. I am of the belief that we have to be willing to consider new principles, consider new practices, consider new beliefs if the things that we have been brainwashed to believe are no longer serving us. If the things that we've been brainwashed to believe to be true no longer make sense. If based on our lived experiences, we can no longer rationalize or wrap our minds around the things that we've been taught, whether it's related to education or healthcare or relationships, it's time for us to reconsider. It's part of being a well-kept woman is being willing to reconsider the things that we have just been bred and led to believe. Most of us are walking around regurgitating things that our grandmama was saying, and we don't even know why we still saying it. We don't even know the roots of it. Sometimes we don't even know what we're repeating. We're just repeating it because it's what they've been saying, it's what we've been hearing, it's what we've been talking about, it's what we've been doing. Part of being a well-kept woman is coming up with new beliefs, coming up with new agreements, coming up with new theories that you subscribe to based on your lived experiences, based on what feels right for you. When your gut tells you something, you got to listen. When your gut says something is off, it probably is. And I believe that the more we are able to tap in and tune in and really dial into what our creator has for us, when we can get in alignment with that, that is when we can truly heal ourselves because we'll truly know ourselves. So it's been a little minute. Your girl is back. We got a lot more that we got to talk about. We got a lot more that we got to get into. I'm super excited to get into this. How I knew he was the one. I don't know if it's going to be a series. I just feel like I got a lot to say. It might end up being a series accidentally because I'm the type of person, I don't know if y'all are like this, but I'm the type of person that will think of some more stuff later and be like, dang, I should have said that, or oh, I need to include that. So it probably will end up being a multiple part series. Speaking of multiple part series, y'all know that I am all wrapped up in manifestation conversation. If you're following me on TikTok, that is basically all that I'm talking about over there is Chat GPT, manifestation, and this and so it is manifestation workbook. This is the workbook that I created to go along with the 5-day delusional dreams challenge, because one of the things that I believe is that Delulu is the Salulu, and we got to get delusional with these dreams. We have to expect the best case scenario and be willing to literally cut ourselves off from any other possibility. Like, there's no other way that this situation, this scenario, or any other situation can possibly work out any other way than for my good. I am unwilling to accept that the God that I serve, the creator that set me up here in this season at this time, I refuse to believe that everything is not working out for my greater good. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm God's favorite, okay, that I am not going to be met with challenges, but I believe that as God's favorite, He's going to equip me with everything that I need to turn every obstacle into an opportunity. But I got to be willing to get out of my own way. And part of me getting out of my own way is stopping those limiting beliefs, those thoughts that creep up when I'm ready to try something new that tells me it's not time, I'm not ready, who do I think I am? I have to be willing to do my part, allowing myself the chance to dream again. One of the things that I shared on this manifestation class that I taught the other day was, I realized that I thought I was depressed, but I really had just stopped dreaming. Like, I realized that I was feeling so frustrated, so unfulfilled, because I felt like I had finished the race. Like, according to my vision boards, I had checked the things off the list. I had the successful business. I have the man of my dreams, the husband, the ring, the wedding. I did all of those things. And now I got the babies. I had literally checked the things off of my list. And instead of feeling like, oh my God, I'm living my best life, I have every blessing, God came through with every promise. Instead of me feeling like that, I really am God's favorite. I was over here like, why does this blessing feel like a burden? I literally can open my eyes and see the things that I had once prayed for, but for some reason, it just doesn't feel that good. And I realized that it wasn't that this didn't feel that good. It's that I was feeling frustrated because I thought life was over. Now, it took me literally 2 years. My baby is about to be 2 in January. So I'm almost 2 years postpartum for my second baby. And I'm just now realizing that it wasn't that motherhood was so overwhelming, or I wasn't enjoying motherhood, or I was depressed or going through. It wasn't any of those things. It was that I had not given myself the time, the space, the permission to dream beyond just those things that I have been blessed with. And so, y'all, when I did that Chat GPT exercise, when I had Chat GPT read me back that story about the day in my dream life, it did something to my spirit. It did something to my energy. It literally pulled me up out of that darkness, because it gave me something to dream about again. It gave me something to go after. It gave me something that feels like, okay, God did not forget about me. God didn't forget about me. God has so much more for me. I just got to get up and start going towards it. And so, if you are feeling like you are in a deep, heavy, dark place and you just don't know how to dust yourself off and get out of it, I want to encourage you to give yourself permission to dream again. And I have tons of free resources to help you do that, from the 5-day delusional dream challenge, where every day for 5 days I am rolling up on you in your inbox with a manifestation masterclass. So I'm teaching you a principle, and then I'm giving you an alignment assignment, because the goal or the challenge is for you to dedicate at least 1 hour, 96 minutes every single day to dreaming delusional dreams. Giving yourself a chance to really sit back and enjoy the feeling of, oh my God, this could actually be my life. Giving yourself the chance to envision the woman of your dreams, because the only way that you're going to be able to meet her is by becoming her. So, for those 5 days, we're going to figure out who she is. How is she showing up? How is she stepping out? Is she a big stepper? How is she stepping out? How does she show up? What kind of skills does she need to have? What kind of schedule does she need to have? Like ChatGPT can literally help you do all of that. And I'm walking you through it for free inside of the 5-day Delusional Dreams Challenge. So that is linked down below. If you just want to know the ChatGPT tutorial, that is linked down below as well. Make sure that we are connected on all of my favorite social platforms, which are TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. I'm at Coriel in all of the places. And be sure to tap in, subscribe to the Girl Stop Playing podcast, where I am encouraging you to stop playing with your potential and start working for what you want so that you can make the money and get the honey. Because, baby, you can have it all as long as you are willing to work. Now, before I let y'all go, I got 2 more Black woman-owned businesses that I got to share with y'all. And you make sure you tune in and subscribe to the Girl Stop Playing podcast, because these businesses that I'm sharing with y'all a little bit here, I'm going into detail about how you can support and how these businesses and entrepreneurs can serve you in this season. So my girl, Nani Israel. She is the 7-figure growth strategist behind AirAssistant.io, which has helped her tribe generate over $8.7 million in social media sales using automated funnels and virtual assistants. Now, she is giving you free access to her digital 6-figure sales planner and a 3-part sales training that has helped her hit her first 6 figures with under 5,000 followers. If you are interested in learning more, her website will be down below. You can also log on to airassistant.io. That's AIR assistant.io. And last but certainly not least, my girl, Katrina Johnson, has modern-ish, festive t-shirts and hoodies that are going to keep you cute and cozy this holiday season. So if you need some fly threads to spread holiday cheer, make sure you log on to modernishbrand.com. modernishbrand.com for your cute, cozy, and comfortable t-shirts, hoodies, and holiday collection attire. Y'all, this has been another bomb episode of Well Kept Wednesday. Your homework assignment for today is to make sure you go follow Dr. Thomas Lodi over on Instagram. Get familiar with his philosophy. Find out, I'm willing to say, the truth behind the big C. Some of the things that we have been brainwashed to believe versus the truth, and what we could do if we are ever in need of these solutions. Because the number of women, specifically in my comments, that are searching for answers goes to show me why these conversations are crucial. Even if you feel like this is not for you right now in this season, which I pray it will never be a conversation or a solution that either of us are seeking, we never know, right? And so bookmark his page, favorite one of his videos, share him with a friend, and let's keep spreading the information that they are going so hard with trying to keep hidden. I love you. I can't wait to catch you on the next episode of Well Kept Wednesday. I recently launched the Well Kept Woman community for women just like you who are interested in investing in wellness, mental health, and your overall well-being. If that's you, tap the link below to join me inside the Well Kept community. I'll see you there.
88% of the work week is spent communicating, typing, talking, and going back and forth on topics until everyone is on the same page. It's time for a change. It's time for Grammarly. Grammarly's AI ensures your team gets the point across the first time, eliminating misunderstandings and streamlining collaboration. It goes beyond basic grammar to help tailor writing to specific audiences. Whether that means adding an executive summary, fine-tuning tone, or cutting out jargon in just one click. 4 out of 5 professionals say Grammarly's AI boosts buy-in and moves work forward. It integrates seamlessly with over 500,000 apps and websites, is implemented in days, and is IT approved. Join over 70,000 teams and 30 million people who trust Grammarly to elevate their communication. Visit Grammarly.com/enterprise to learn more. Grammarly, enterprise-ready AI.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.